Hello friends, Jenna here, and I'm going to talk about the energy that's kind of going on right now, and it's really exciting. The winter solstice just passed. Beautiful Jupiter and Saturn conjunction brings us into the age of Aquarius, which is really cool. So as I was meditating to figure out what to convey in the video today, I pulled some cards as well. I do like to work through cards. I kind of change my decks and feel out what feels really good to me. And the first question that I asked was, who would like to speak? I don't normally ask these questions, but I was inclined to. And it says power. I don't know if you can see it because of the light, and this resonated as source. And we all have source within us, so whatever that means for you, energy, God, universe, etc. Source wanted to come through. It also spoke about, because I pulled two, one popped out, which was the source card, and then I pulled the wildling, which is like that primal nature of listening to your authentic self while being grounded. So essentially it's grounding in your source power. So that's who wanted to come through. And I pulled the first card. I pulled three cards. The first one is the wheel. Can you see the pictures there? And the second card I pulled was the world. And the last one that I pulled was the Eight of Wands, which is really cool. So what it is saying, the way that it came through from sources, that it's saying we have passed with beautiful flying colors a cycle. The wheel in our favor, okay, into a new cycle. You know, the dolphins here for play. Dolphins are very intelligent. They're just majestic beings in general, and it talks about the seasons. Everything has a season, and with the world card coming out, it was a finishing of a cycle, okay? And the age of Aquarius coming through, so the light, it is now, the light has won. We have won, obviously, but it's kind of when you come to the end, this is the Fool, right? And you come to the end, but it starts all over again, okay? In a different and new profound way. I believe, you know, you start in the same place of, oh gosh, what am I gonna do? Who am I? And you go through this lovely journey as the Fool does, figuring out and going through so many things. And then you come to the end of your cycle. But realistically, it's the beginning of something new, right? So when we spiral upwards, you pass the same thing, but with a different perspective, okay? So, and then with the Eight of Wands coming through, that just means that there's a huge energy shift, lots of energy coming through, major, like energizing force, working in the same direction. They're all pointing the same direction, right? That's they've kind of gotten in the way of the birds, right? So they've kind of like shot through and crossed paths with the birds, like interrupted what they're doing. For me, this kind of expresses as we have interrupted the nefarious plans of the world. We have changed, and now it is the beginning, right? So you are going to see things continue to break down because the cycle is finished. We have gotten over, say, the hump, but it doesn't mean work is done. You know, we expect there to be an end, but when you think of eternity, you keep going no matter what, okay? And one thing that comes through with this that I have witnessed personally that has been, it was difficult for me, was terms and conditions and of like privacy and things like that on Instagram, okay? And that seems so silly and everything like that, you know, but sometimes you pick your battle and you stand up for what you know, believe in and what you feel in your heart and what your truth is. And we have to remember which I am getting to, is that, with the terms and conditions, it is very invading of privacy, but at the same time, if we all have no secrets, we all see each other exposed, which this is what this is saying in general, okay? We are all exposed, okay, through this cycle and really open up and have this energy, okay, and to show the true authentic self. And I know being, whatever label it is, starseed, light worker, etc., like I have yet to put myself in a box, and every time I try to, I just break out of that box. And so I feel like I'm a part of all of these things, right? Because we are all connected. Now, with this, we know that the world has limitations. Okay, that's kind of the point. And enlightenment is pretty much in the beginning, you're like, oh gosh, I have to work and do this, to make things meet. And then you go through the struggle and the mindset and the changing and the figuring out what you're going to do, only to do the work and make ends meet, just in a different way, in a new perspective, and a new mindset, right? Energy, equal exchange of energy. That's what it is. But you're deciding, maybe before you gave a whole bunch of your energy and didn't really get anything in return. And now you are deciding, no, I am getting a crap ton in return because I know how much my energy is worth, money in this case, right? Or whatever, time. And so you're doing the same thing in a different way, right? Expansion, which is kind of what the world is. Now, we have to realize, and this is one thing that I struggled with, within limitations, going back to the Instagram, IG whole terms and conditions thing, I really, I was like, what the hell? No, I'm not going to do this. Like, to have access to all of my networking and things and like anything they want within my system, like, come on, what the hell? But then I was told, and I even came across this before this happened, but it was retold to me, that your physical world, our physical world, produces internally what we want. So if we don't want secrets, right? If we want freedom of everything and everybody to be their authentic self, to me, this is part of saying that technology can do that. Because to me, I believe technology and organic can work together. If you've ever studied kind of like the history thing, or really deep in the esoteric kind of language or the occult kind of stuff, it is like technology is kind of Luciferian kind of thing, like dark, and then organic is more light kind of. Not saying that really, but I'm just kind of giving you an idea. But I believe they both can go together, right? They both can work together. And when we live in a state of love instead of fear, right? We play this game here, okay? And sometimes it's really hard and we're all like, I don't want to play anymore. I fucking quit. Like, I'm done, I've done that. I know I have. Because this game, it can be so much, and like knowing so many things and like feeling, you have this knowledge and wisdom from, from lives or this current life, like it just, sometimes when you look at it, it can be overwhelming until, that's why they always say be in the here and the now. Use what you have in the here and the now, because the future, it matters, but it also doesn't matter, right? Only right now, because what you're doing now creates that next now. So the best thing to do is focus in the now. Same thing, if you're focusing in the past, same thing, same concept, all right? Worry about the now, and don't even worry about it. Just do what you can right now, and it will create your future. All right, also, the one thing is with the wheel, they talk about fate. The wheel is a big thing with fate in general. And what's interesting is that I have come to the conclusion so far, from what I understand, that there is a blueprint. There is a fate through each and every one of our lives, because there are no accidents in the universe, okay? No matter what you label as good or bad, all right? And with that being said, you still have choices to make. But if you decided to go on this path, okay, you can still make choices on it. But eventually, no matter if it's one lifetime, many lifetimes, like whatever that may be, it's going to play itself out, okay? And however it's supposed to, because if time is really not existent in the mass, like vast, I should say, perspective of source, of universe, then it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And so it comes down to taking off the distortions, okay? Stop trying to be like something external that you see, okay? You're taking off, and I get trying it on, right? But take it off when you know it isn't you. Take it off if you're trying to expect the same outcome as that other person. You have a mentor, that is so great. But even if you follow everything the exact same way, you still will not have the exact same life as that person. So remember, it is your life. Your life. Yes, you can create what you want, but remember to love what you have and what you are now. Because you bring something so magical, so beautiful to this world that it should not be hidden. Don't hide it away. And it's fun to figure it out and then play it out however it plays out. And so with that, I realized that I left Instagram because I didn't want to accept those terms and conditions. And I didn't realize how hard it would be, because it almost felt like I was just disconnected from anybody. That's like the technology that is like, I moved to a new place. I don't really know people here, and plus the world, being not sure about distance and things, and because of thing that shall not be named, and it's just really crazy how we can get lost. And well, I say lost, right? But just lost when we feel that we're not connected. And so I have been pondering this, because it's only been, it was on the 20th and today is the 23rd. So it's only been like 3 days. And I was like, you know what? Like, for me, I'm putting fear behind it. Yeah, I want to do what I can. I know that everybody doesn't have my best interest at heart. I know that, I have to stand up when I'm going to stand up. But at the same time, like, if it connects me with, people who also stand in the same light, with my soul fam, with other people, with, also me being able to share myself and my truth as well, so people can see that, like, it's like that equal exchange of energy. It's super important. And I'm still trying to find like a higher vibe type thing, but at the same time, if you go with the flow of what it is, at the same time, it's observe the reality and create a new one kind of aspect of life. Understanding the limitations and what you have to work with, playing the game while changing the game. That makes sense. You'll totally get it. So that has been a challenge for me, and I wanted to share this because I think it's super important, because I feel like this is what these cards were saying. It's like, you understand that there's limitations, right? Saturn and Jupiter, if I remember correctly. I'm really horrible with symbols, but I will be better. But, Saturn and Jupiter, like, it talks about abundance. It talks about also restrictions. Like, we are meant to have limitations here. Because if it's all a play, if it's all for fun, We take things so seriously, and we shouldn't. That's the way life has been, and we're moving out of that. Like, let's not take life so seriously while also being respectful and grateful for what we have. So it's like serious and not serious, right? So it's kind of like everything can exist while nothing exists at the same time. And I know that's a really hard concept for our brains to get sometimes. But it's a thing. While you sit here, you can close your eyes. One big thing with meditation is quieting your mind, just being here. It's like you exist and you don't exist. So that's the closest way that I can explain it. But everybody kind of has their own breakthrough with that. So going back to this, there's lots of energy, a lot of energy moving forward. And I'm really excited because it's new energy, it's beautiful energy, it's really intense, and it doesn't mean that the work is over. And we keep going, we keep trying things. You can change your mind, for goodness sakes. Like with me, with Instagram, I'm like, gosh, maybe I should get back on, but I'm just kind of waiting and seeing. I'm trying to respond to feelings, because I made a choice, and I'm trying to see where that's going while still figuring it out. So who knows what the hell will happen. But I think it's just really important that we don't get caught up in the past, in the future, and that we stay here right now. This was the message again from like primal source, everything. Like, it's learning to trust your inner authority wholeheartedly. It's learning to trust yourself, because we have relied so much on external forces. And I can tell you, that probably caused me more problems. I'm so grateful for those problems, but it caused me way more problems. And so now with this new cycle kind of starting up for the world, you have a new perspective. And so now it's going to come back to you and say, hey, what'd you learn? It's just going to come right back to move forward, to do it in a different way, to expand, And one thing with expanding, I've been watching things and listening, to a lot of people. One of them being the millionth year on, oh gosh, is it on Prime Video? Something like that. No, it's on Disney Plus, National Geographic, millionth year. And technology can scare people. And it used to scare me. And as I was watching this just recently, these past couple days, I was sitting there and I'm like, this used to freak me out. And it doesn't freak me out so much. But it's kind of like we can do it within. And as long as we understand to do the work within first, eventually things will show on the external next. And dark will never go away. Okay, that's just not how it goes. It can be in the background, for a little bit. Everybody has to work through their stuff. Light has definitely overcome, and now the changes will be going through as that happens. And the best thing I can say is to turn off your TV, stop scrolling through social media or watching the political posts so much, or once you learn how to manage your energy and not be fearful of everything that you read, or not be like, bah, have such a reaction, with everything that you read. That is managing your energy. It is coming at it from a neutral stance, contemplating and seeing both sides, and then choosing for yourself what works for you. But that is what we're getting to. We're coming into a place that we can respect everybody who does that, right? So whether you choose to do this, such as obviously controversial thing is mask or no mask, instead of trying to control someone else by choosing to do this or choosing to do this, not wear one, blah, 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 you realize you can't control other people, and you're okay with it because you understand both sides of the coin, but you know your truth and what you choose to do. Okay? And yes, there are consequences to every action, right? Every action. And when you learn that that's just a part of life, you stop taking life so seriously and you can laugh at yourself. I mean, I bet you it's going to be a thing of laughing at ourselves for wearing masks, right? Or if it's going to be laughing at ourselves for trying to just control other people in general, or thinking like, oh my gosh, like we were so angry at the left or at the right, or holy crap, like it doesn't even really matter, you know, they're both the wings on the same bird kind of stuff. Well, if we know that, observe it, you know, accept it and move forward. And honestly, I think the greatest thing would be that every single, you know, election or whatever we have continuing forward, you know, in the politics and things like that, is that you have one from one side, one from the other side, president and vice president, and they are always equal no matter what, because they have to be. There shall be no one ruling house of one at any time, because we need both. We need both. We need both because they work together. Even if we could get them to work together and realize that, it would be so much better. And we will. We will. Wholeheartedly, that's what I feel in my heart. I know that we will. But I think it would be great if Trump was president and Biden was vice, or vice versa. Biden was a president and Trump was vice. I think everybody would be like, oh, well, what to be mad at? You know what I mean? Like, what can you do? So if that happens, whatever. Because I really don't care who wins or whatever happens with everything. I haven't even been keeping up with it. I do, but I don't, just because, again, I don't agree with the trying to incite fear, but I do try to stay at least up in the know. But it's really hard because they like blow so much air and smoke and everything in it, and it's just really crazy. But I know that whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and I know that I'm in my truth, and I will support and help and hold space for other people as much as they need and as much as I can, because we all need that right now. I mean, I know that in some way, most of us want peace. And the way to do that is finding peace within ourselves, because we cannot control other people. Socialism, capitalism, that is still controlling people. Both together, you know, kind of thing, you know, making it work, finding a system like that to where they can both work together, taking away the fear, the fight or flight with people, you know, trying to survive, you know, and then it opens a door for people to do what they love. They can both exist together. And that's kind of the fun, is that, okay, it's never been done. Well, broaden your horizons, friends. Like, you know, let's make it both work. I mean, let's be honest. Government has been taxing and taxing and taxing and taxing and taxing us for such a long time. And at every single turn, you know, I mean, I could say that I was just watching with uranium and like the first atomic bomb, and like how much money was spent on a very secret thing. Okay, even back then, that was a lot of money. I believe it was like $2 billion private project. Let's be real, there's enough money flow to go around, okay, to circle, to help each other, right? While we can all, you know, be in our own pursuit of our own happiness as well. So anyways, you know, I'm all about like helping people have like shelter and food and water, right? And a baseline of energy. And then past that, people can do what they want. We can make things work together. But first of all, we need to, I mean, I'm getting off into a tangent here, so I'll digress. But I'm just saying that if we take that fear-based aspect of the world for people around in this system that we have, we can make it work, okay? It doesn't mean things are for free, and it doesn't mean that your next door neighbor gets to take whatever from you, you know. It means that we no longer allow for poverty, okay? We no longer allow, and it comes out from what people consume. So whatever you purchase, you know, for me, I think taxes should be super simple. Take away fucking income taxes, and you only tax property, okay, like where you are, property taxes, right? And you tax what you consume, what you purchase. So cars, if you purchase, crafts and things that aren't food and water, right? Food, water, and energy, which is what we need. So everything else is taxed on that. And let me tell you, that can help take care of so many things. And it would make it so simple. Like, obviously, I'm just talking about new ways because guess what? The old way isn't working anymore. It's just not. It inflates. It's made a pyramid, to where people on the bottom are struggling. We need a pool. All right, we need a pool. And that when people make waves, it's more of helping each other and like coming together when they clash to make really awesome energy together, but it still comes down and everybody gets a share. That's the way the ocean works. There's big ass waves and things that are beautiful. Everything lives peacefully under the water. If you've ever been scuba diving, it can be super rough on top, because there's changes and things happening once you get down below, all working together, ecosystem, etc. Okay, so analogies, again, I will digress. So new things, new systems. I keep putting this out here for a new system like that just because I'm putting it out into the world, I'm putting it out into the universe, I'm putting it through because that is something that I think we need to look at. It's the best of both worlds. And one thing I know that I am here for, that I have understood, is making both of the dark and the light work, all right? Because your shadow and your light, when you make them work together, you are unstoppable in so many forms, okay? Shadow work just isn't about like surfacing the undesirable feelings, the never touching it. No, it is working with. When you learn to work with that energy, when you learn to work with your emotions, your feelings, you blow up, and just that energy, that use, that understanding, it just allows for so much more to happen. And that's to each his home, right? Because there are many different people and things like that in this world, in this universe. But it's kind of the same concept. You become the alchemist, in a sense. And everybody has their own really awesome gifts, which I do aura readings. And I'm just saying there are certain types I work with, like the human design aspect. If you've ever looked up human design, I kind of read your aura through that way, plus like using, own connection and intuitive resources. And, let me tell you, it's one of those that gives you the tools to work with yourself, and also understanding how you work with other people, and to kind of pick out, kind of what other people's auras are or what they have, because you can start to recognize it and see if it's your true self or your not self per se. So anyway, really interesting. But if you're interested in one, please message me personally at thelaelyx@gmail.com. TheLaelyx@gmail.com. Send me a message and I'm happy to draw one up for you. It's $111. Super awesome deal. I truly believe in this work, and I do want to help people as much as possible just to help your mind become at ease in this world for whatever you're here for, this experience per se, right? And not be entrapped into your not self, entrapped into, energy circles that, that trap you. I mean, essentially is what it is. You call it the matrix here. I know that there's a lot of people that do, and I do as well. And it's like, okay, obviously I believe that I chose to be here. So I know that I want to help as many people understand, and I don't care if they wake up or not. It's pretty much just waking up to yourself. I don't care if, the occult or, metaphysics or anything like that is like your jam. It doesn't matter. It's just about waking up to yourself, waking up to your potential, your divine potential. It's waking up to, removing the distortions. And that's what it is, and getting you out of that cycle, right? Because it doesn't matter how many times you have been on this wheel. because it's up to you on when you want to get off the wheel, start a new wheel, go do something else, an adventure, etc. So, anyway, from source, directly from source, you have that access as well. Anything that comes to you, don't hold it in if you feel it should come out. Anyway, message me, thelaelyx@gmail.com. I love your face. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Comment, if there's anything you want me to talk about in the future. I mean, definitely leave a comment or message me. Pretty easygoing. I just want to reach out to my soul fam. I want to stay connected with you because this is an important time. I mean, it always has been and it always will be, but at the same time, just moving into Age of Aquarius, I know that I'm here to help with this lovely ascension process, and it's been passed on to us to kind of do it how we want to do it. And so if you resonate with me, great. If not, great. I wish you well.